Hey, Welsh Dragon Metals here. Going to be doing a teardown today of a phone charger for precious metal recovery. I've already done many, as you can see here. These are variably hard to open. Actually quite difficult. Some are easy, but most are welded and require you to snap the whole casing apart. Look at that. For that I usually use a pair of sharp snips. Already got quite a few boards. Go through them and identify precious metal components a bit later, after I turn this one down to show you. So let's do that. And these are a pretty good source of precious metals, and also kind of common. Most people have a charger that they don't use for some phone they don't have anymore. So if you have a USB cable or some sort of exotic cable here, this likely contains microscopic amounts of gold. This one does. Not many. Pretty sure it's for an iPhone or some such. I have a few USBs there. Now you want to snip this entire thing off. The wire is probably copper, could be aluminium coated with copper. Either way, good precious metal recovery, lots of wire. This looks like one of the ones that needs to be snapped open, as there are literally no obvious screws at all. So the leverage needed for this. Try and get in there first. I can get the pliers within it. Quite difficult. Reposition the phone. This one looks like it might be easy to open. Yay! It's an easier version. Now, these plugs are actually fixed into the housing itself, which means in order to recover the precious metals, the plated silver material or plated zinc, not sure which one, I'd say it's plated with zinc, but still probably useful metal. Well, it is useful metal, quite a bit valuable, but you need a lot to make any value from it. So, but we're there to tear down quite a few, as you can see. So if you manage to recover all these sort of bits, then you'll get some material from them. So we got the PCB there, circuit board, simple removal. Let's check it out. So nice transformer here that contains copper as well as ferrite, which is like magnetic iron type stuff. That's around the rim. An assortment of capacitors for silver and aluminium recovery. They're usually plated with silver or have a small silver element inside if they're some of the more expensive types. This weird green thing here, that is not a resistor, it's an inducer and contains copper in a little coil wound around the middle part. We have blocking diodes. These can contain gold, and if not, they can contain other materials that are useful, like copper elements or possibly a metalloid like tellurium or some such. Although that'd be rare, but not unusual at the same time. These electronics are highly variable in the amount of materials in the resistor here. These can again contain gold, but you need a massive amount, due to it usually only contains a monofilament, usually a micron or two in diameter, so virtually nothing. But if you have a massive amount, a few kilos of resistors, you can recover metals from them with use, or resell them on eBay or whatever. Another capacitor here, similar, although it's black. May contain slightly different metals, but I doubt it. Probably contains the same as the other capacitors. Lots of silver solder here. That either contains small variable amounts of silver, or it's tin mixed with antimony. which means it's quite valuable, because tin and antimony is quite valuable at the moment. And the value goes up and down, so worth collecting all this stuff. We have some tiny resistors, SMD resistors here. These contain silver and can contain more exotic precious metals like ruthenium and rhodium. That's only in trace amounts. But if you manage to somehow get kilograms of these things, it is possible to recover some of them ultra rare metals. We also have an MLCC here that contains palladium, that little brown thing there. Not much, but palladium is super valuable right now. Most of them gold, in fact, so definitely worth collecting. You have a microchip here that can contain gold, but it probably contains small amounts of silver due to it's missing a leg, which means it's probably not some sort of processing chip. It's likely a driver of some sort or a charge controller. So it does contain precious metals, but not many. And more of the same over here. Tiny MLCC, very tiny one. That is probably only a millimeter or two, very small. Let's check out some of the other boards. Remarkably similar. This one is plastic case transformer though. And we have probably a photocoupler here, which contains more precious metals, either gold or silver, or both maybe. A transistor, those contain silver. They're good for silver recovery if you manage to get a few kilos of transistors. This thing here, this strange looking orange component, says D4. See that? That's a Zener diode that contains the metalloid Germanium, which is useful in night vision optical devices and is worth quite a bit. One of the more unusual metals you'll find inside of these boards. More blocking diodes, those are good for silver recovery on the legs and such. Probably only plated though. On the bottom of the board we have more of the same, MLCCs, resistors, variable size, lots of silver solder blobs, as you can see. These traces here, see this shiny green trace? That's heavy copper, which is a pure form of copper inside of the traces. We have lots more boards here, let's have a look at all of them. These are all from different brands and different phone chargers, as you can see. There is mostly the same type of materials on them. Resistors, MLCCs, lots of silver and or tin and antimony solder. So all quite valuable. Let's flip these. Have a little more examination on the other side. This one has quite a bit of germanium. And these 4 Zener diodes. Seem to have substituted Zener diodes for blocking diodes on this one. You have more boards here. Another transformer. A few of them. There seems to be a transformer on every single one, which would be needed for transforming AC to DC voltage for charging. And charge controller on the bottom. Good for tiny amounts of precious metal. And some MLCCs, same for this. No, there are no MLCCs on this one. Oh, yeah, there is one black one. But apart from that, not many as the others. Oh, there's a tiny minuscule 1mm one there. And I'll try next to the transistor. Seems to be a more cheap board, this one. Probably for a lower type phone, crappier type. So, plenty of materials on them. Lots of boards from 5 different chargers. There's what remains of them in plastic. And all the wire that was recovered. Nice big pile. We also have a few cables here, USB cables. They contain gold. See that? Plated gold materials on each of the legs inside. See that? Very small amounts, but it is there. Same for this. So, quite a bit there. Sorry about my hands, they're all cut to ribbons. You'll get that with me. I'm always taking stuff apart, scrapping, melting, so on. If your hands don't look like that, you're probably not doing it right. So, good amount of material here. Lots of copper, silver, solder, and antimony. And some palladium, various other strange metals. So, phone chargers, definitely good for precious metal recovery. Also got some zinc or aluminium, so common metals also, to go with the copper and other stuff. Well, till next time.